So you wouldn't say it was an individual training or a class you went to, more about developing relationships and just learning from people in your world?
Yeah, I mean, I would say the first 3 years, my eyeballs were like this because the world I came from, right, in pharma, they give you a list of your doctors and they say, go at it. So you know your leads, you know your sources of business, go at it.
Mhm.
I never had to go find my leads or build my leads or make the connections just to, find out if someone is even interested in buying or selling in real estate.
Right.
So I had to follow really a combination of all of those things. Bold obviously got me way out of my comfort zone. I think in
Mhm.
my first 2 years, I took bold at least 3 times.
Wow.
So I mean, I was terrified. Um, but you do it and you really, you learn how to just say, I'm going to own my fear. I'm going to breathe through it and I'm going to do it.
Right. Right. I love that. So when you first started getting clients, where would you say was your biggest source? Like what were you the most successful at in the beginning?
Yeah. So for me, it was through my referral partners around the country. So
Okay.
because I was developing relationships and I went to every opportunity I could get, family reunion, masterminds, mega camp, I did everything. I probably did a little too much because my brain was exploding all the time. Yet every meeting I went to, I tried to connect with really great people and business would come to me because people said, oh, I remember Jennifer.
Okay.
And yeah, so while I hadn't done a lot of transactions, people trusted me because I had relationships with them.
I love that. So a lot of people will say, but I'm new, but I'm not making any money yet. How can I spend money to go to family reunion and mega
Right.
camp? And, how can I put that money out there?
Yeah. Well, it is an investment and don't spend more than you have. There are other ways you can do it. I mean, I also developed a lot of relationships on Facebook.
Mhm.
So, once again, there were people that I really admired that I would connect with on Facebook and just start talking to them. I'd private message them or I'd comment and the relationships could be started there. So social media was a really great way without spending any money to connect with
Right.
great agents all around the country.
Love that. And now we have Zoom. Now
We
we
have
can
Zoom.
do it on Zoom by joining.
Yep.
There's so many opportunities like this where we
Yep.
can jump on and, just because the guests are kind of in the background doesn't mean that they can't pick up the phone and call Jennifer or call
Right.
myself or call, Mark in California or
Yeah.
whoever. So
Right.
use this as that kind of connection opportunity as well.
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right, so we're connecting, we're getting a lot of referrals from across the country. What else are you doing? Anything else that is notable?
Um, other than I think that other people are doing, I knew that I wanted to be in the luxury sphere because my area is luxury. It's a second home market. It's about 70% at least second home investment property market. So we don't have a lot of locals. And because I wasn't a local here, I mean, I've lived here, but I didn't have relationships here. I
Mhm.
had to figure out another way to get my business. I wasn't going to beat or get in with the local people, because local agents here, they're very embedded in the community. It's a small community. So what I did was I made sure that I could find out where the people were that were coming here to buy.
Okay.
So the feeder markets, we have access to that now on, right, KW Connect and KW Command Connect, I guess it's on. But I figured that out just by looking at tax records and finding
Oh,
out where people were coming from and making sure that those were the areas that I focused on in both my referral business. And then also if I was targeting ads, I didn't target ads here necessarily.
uh,
I would target my Facebook ads in Texas or in other feeder markets because those were the people who were really interested in buying here or
right.
selling here.
I love that. So for those who don't know, what she's talking about with the feeder markets is on command under referrals, there's a way that you can actually see the traffic coming to your area and leaving your area. So that's a tool that you guys should definitely look into if you have a lot of movement in and out of your area. Like for us, I know from, we get a lot of people coming in from New York and California, New Jersey, and a couple other states. We actually get a good amount from Colorado recently.
Yes.
But then we also have people here buying second homes in Colorado. So we have some people leaving Colorado cities coming here, but then we have luxury people buying homes there.
Right.
And just to throw this out there for everybody, if you buy a second home, you got to put that on social media. You got to show people what you're doing. You're skiing, you're horseback riding, you're swimming, whatever it is you're doing. You'd be surprised how many of your friends all of a sudden want to buy a place in that same place. For me, when we bought our place in Breckenridge, Colorado, during the pandemic, so many people reached out to me. Some of them haven't bought anything, but it started conversations. People that are close to me here asking, hey, can you hook me up with an agent there? Absolutely. I would love to do that. So that's definitely an opportunity for everybody. If you have a place like that, or you go on vacation, post that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you can post this, say, hey, I got this great agent in Colorado. Anybody looking to buy?
Yeah. And if it's not in my area, I have great agents all over Colorado that can help. So, so, and then as far as, I know you wanted me to maybe, focus a little bit on that luxury part. So, in order to do that, I really had to look at what luxury meant and also what it meant here. It's not this, it's the same everywhere. Luxury is luxury. Yet showing up for a luxury client in a black dress and heels in Colorado is not okay. Like, you don't want to do that unless you're in Denver. You could do that here, but in a mountain community, you're going to be wearing boots and warm clothing and sweaters, and you have to adjust to that, but you have to learn that. You have to figure out what's right for your area, and then once you do, you need to embrace it. You need to live that lifestyle. Yeah. And then finding out what the other luxury agents are doing around the country and then making it your own.
That's perfect. Yeah. And it is interesting that you say that about the clothing, because it definitely changes depending on where you are. And you got to fit in, or you're going to be the outsider, right?
Oh, I showed up. I mean, this is a random little story, but I showed up at my team meetings, the first, I was coming from a professional, like, dressy farmer rep girl. I would show up to the team meetings and I would be the only one wearing a dress or a blazer, and everyone else is not. And so just be aware.
That's awesome. So talk to us about how you stay in touch with past clients. Do you do any kind of events or gifting, or what does that look like for you?
Yeah, so I don't do as many events. I don't have a lot of clients who are here full time, and I can't gather them all together at once usually. So it'll be a dinner when they're in town, or a lunch when they're in town. Most people, when they're here, they may not even have time to do that because they're here to ski. Like, they're on the mountain all day and then they're done. However, even just making the touch to say that I'd love to see you for dinner. And if they say they can't, that's fine. But they like the touch. They like to know that you're here and that you want to see them. And they like the individual attention. They aren't looking to come to a big event. Like, they don't need a big event here. Right. So I know events work really well in a lot of areas, and it's just not going to work in my market. So I do a lot of phone calls. I do send out gifts to my top clients throughout the year. And then I send gifts randomly, for, let's say, for Thanksgiving or for Easter, or, I try not to do it on the big holidays because everyone's doing that. But I do it a little differently that way.
I like that. So smaller, more intimate settings work for you. Yep. We've heard that from other people in ski areas, that it's more one-on-one, or, not one-on-one, but
Yeah, it is.
with the family
Right.
or smaller events, and that totally makes sense because people
Yeah.
are in and out. Is there an average length of time that people own a second home out there? Do you have a stat on that by any chance?
I don't have a stat, but I can tell you a few things. So, people here, there's a couple of different groups of people, right, who are buying second homes here. Some people will buy the second home and they don't care that it's vacant all year, and that they're coming up here just a month out of the year. So we'll see people tend to hold on to that a little bit longer
Mhm.
because it's just another one of their assets, and they're getting to build memories here. And then we also have some investors who will buy here as well, and they do want to rent it out, and that's another story. They want to do short-term rentals, and so they may move around a little bit more because what they find is, okay, we love this place and we love Breckenridge. We've had the 2 bedroom, 2 bath, and after 3, 4 years, they're like, you know what, we want a bigger place. We're
Mhm.
ready to kind of step up a little bit and get something else. So we have that. And then the locals, obviously, they're typically buying for a longer term. I mean, it depends on, when their kids graduate from high school and then we have retirees who end up staying here. They're
Mhm.
not moving. They're here for a very long time, as long as they
Okay.
can make it. Yeah. So it depends on the client, really.
Right, right.
Mhm.
Okay, so that definitely gives you the incentive to stay in touch with them, especially
Yes.
if they're upsizing, maybe downsizing, maybe an
Yes.
older couple that can no longer do the stairs, things like
Right.
that. So, in our minds, I think sometimes we think, oh, it's a second home area, so there's probably not that much movement, but there's still that movement, even within the family, that they want something bigger or smaller.
Totally.
Yeah, like I can
Yeah.
see for us, like we own a big rental property. So maybe at some point we would downsize and maybe that would just be for us. So
Right.
I can see like the needs changing over
Yeah,
time.
absolutely. And then some people, they're here for, 5 years. This is their vacation spot. And they're like, you know what? Okay, we're done with the mountains. We want to buy in Florida. We want to be at the beach. I get that a lot,
Yes, like
so
they're kind of had the experience and they're ready for the next experience.
exactly.
I
Exactly. And
love
it's another reason why for me and my business, and this could work for you guys too, anywhere you are, connecting with people who are in second home markets, finding out where the luxury clients in your area tend to buy. Where are they looking to buy their second home? Because while you may not be able to do the transaction there, it's lovely to get a referral
Oh,
network going and be able to, because it's a nice referral check.
absolutely. I always tell my agents that the best money you can ever make is the 25% referral fee. Because
All
what
day
do you
long.
do?
All day
Like
long.
you do very little and it's a great paycheck. So
It
that
is.
is in my opinion, the highest price per minute you can make.
Yeah, I agree. It's lovely. And truthfully, I know we haven't really touched on it, but the luxury community at KW, and I know some of you are already in it, so but the luxury community, we keep in touch. We're connected on a lot of different levels. We are going to all the luxury events, and you'd be surprised how much business is generated at those events. So even if you're not a part of luxury, try to attend whatever you can to get in. And if you are already in luxury, use it. I know a lot of people who are in luxury and they're just not engaging.
Mhm. Right. So now when you go to an event like that, what are you doing to prepare to go to the event? Or are you just literally showing up and you're super social and you just connect with people?
I'll do a couple of things. One, I don't do a ton of prep because I am super social. However, I'll think about a meeting before I go, whether it's family reunion or going next week to Austin to the masterminds with Gary. Like what do I need right now? What am I looking to get? Where is an area of my business that I would love to improve upon? And pay attention to whoever is talking about it when I go. Take
Mhm.
notes on that because when you go to these events, there's 5,000 things you can learn. Like your head hurts. There's so much information. So if you can go in prepared with what you're looking for, that's what as we all know, the RAS, right? From from Bold, you'll
Yep.
be able to hear and be aware of all of that, and the other stuff kind of you don't pay as much attention to because you can't do it all.
Right. And that's kind of something I struggle with is I get a little overwhelmed
Yeah,
with all of the input.
yeah,
So I think what I heard you say is that you don't necessarily plan specific things, but you know going in, like I want to meet somebody from
yes,
Florida or I want to meet somebody from this area or that
yeah,
area. And then
right.
you're more aware of that. So
Yeah,
as
and
you
it
hear
also,
like,
yeah, I'm way more aware of that. And also, I might like be following someone on social media that I don't know very well, but I
mhm,
really like what they're doing. Like I'm really seeing some great things from them, and I want to learn from them. I
mhm.
will seek them out. I will reach out and say, hey, if you're at family reunion, can we connect? Or if you're going to, a local regional meeting, I'd love to connect and meet you for coffee, or
Mhm.
something like that.
I like that. Are you in any coaching or have
Yes.
you done any coaching?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've done a lot. So I've been in mastery coaching for a long time. I'm now in executive mastery coaching. I've also done coaching with Metrics. I don't know if anyone knows of it, but it's a coaching company with Ben Kinney and Brian Gubernick. So you may have heard those names before. And I've done it with Brett Tanner as well.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think. So I've done a lot of coaching, and that has also been a gold mine for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would you say are like the biggest things that you get out of it? Is it the accountability? Is it connections? Like what would you say is the biggest part
I
of
would
coaching?
I would say it's bigger thinking.
Okay.
It's definitely getting your comfort zone expanded,
Mhm.
and then and the connections. The people that are in those rooms, they're also there because they want to do better, learn more, grow their business, become more successful, whatever that is. And I feed off of that energy in a
Right.
big way. Like that just feeds my soul.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what I found is that something that I might be struggling with, somebody else is amazing at it. And
Exactly.
something that I'm great at, somebody else is struggling. And so we help each other and we walk away both going, wow, that was so easy to solve that, but I
Mhm.
was struggling with it so much. So
Oh,
that for me, the
absolutely.
connection is
Yeah.
is
And then when you
unbelievable.
make that connection, if you have questions, you pick up the phone and you can just call those people who are already crushing it.
Absolutely. I don't know about your experience, but mine has been that people are really willing to help. Even people that, the top 10 in the
Oh,
entire
yeah,
company, like they're always
absolutely.
willing to help. I pick up the phone and call somebody and they're usually willing to help. It's very rare that somebody has no interest in having a
Right.
conversation. Because
Oh,
I
I
think that,
agree.
like, even for me, if somebody calls me with questions, I learn from their questions, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It
So I
makes
think
you
that's
think.
one of the, what?
It makes you think.
It does, exactly. And KW culture is so, we're so inclusive. We are
Right.
here to share and to help each other. And
Mhm.
it's not just something we say. We actually do it. Just like this Zoom here, we're sharing and we're
Yeah,
giving you our secrets, right?
right. And right now with the markets as they are, which, has a lot of ups and downs right now, in order to stay uplifted, you have to be around people who also have that energy. And that goes with your business, and it also goes with the luxury experience. You want to be around that energy and see what's going on and feed off of it.
Mm-hmm. I love that. How about marketing? What kind of marketing do you do? I know you do social media. Tell us a
Yes.
little bit about that.
So I'll do social media, which, is hit or miss. It's not 100%, but I feel like it's great exposure.
Mhm.
And on my Facebook page, I probably have about 4,000 agents at least, or 4,500 agents on my Facebook page. So I am actually marketing to them as well. But locally, we do a lot of print.
Okay.
So we have very small newspapers, the Summit Daily. It's like 25 pages, and people will take full page ads, and that helps sell their properties. Sellers are also looking to see that you're doing that,
Right.
because everyone is reading that newspaper. It's local events. It's just tiny. Vale has their own, Summit has their own. And so that actually helps. Also, I do luxury print marketing with the luxury magazines.
Okay. When
And
you
once
say the
again,
luxury magazines, are you talking the KW luxury
yeah,
magazine?
KW I've
Okay.
done Haven, I've done a couple. I'd have to go back and see which ones because
Sure.
I kind of have it on auto. But it does also get you exposure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's just like selling a house. Where is somebody going to see your house? It's the same thing with you trying to connect with, buyers, sellers, agents. Like where
Correct.
you don't know which thing is going to be the thing that makes it
Oh,
happen.
absolutely. Absolutely. I'll get text messages with them holding up a picture of me in the magazine or whatever it
I
is.
love that.
Yeah. So, it's just part of being out there and being associated with the luxury brand.
Right. So for social media, do you do it all yourself or do you have somebody who helps you?
Well, I've been doing it myself, yet hopefully I won't be doing it for long because I'm really not that great at it. Um, I try to take cues from other people, but you know what? I just, it's not my strength.
Right. Right. I
So,
hear you.
yeah, so, it is an area of growth for me,
Mhm.
including videos. I think that videos, and I know YouTube and all of that stuff is really a great way to get your brand out there, your name out there, Keller Williams Luxury out there. So
Mhm.
that's happening in the next year for me.
Mhm. Yeah, I struggle with the video myself. I hate to see myself on video, so it's hard to like get up the
Yes.
nerve to do it.
Yep.
Trying to push myself out there a little bit more,
Yep.
but it
You just got
is
to do it.
challenging.
Like, you just have to say, you know what? No one really cares exactly what you're saying. They just want to see you and get to know you. Like
Yeah,
they care. I mean, they care about what you're saying. So know your market, know what you're talking about. But if you stumble or you do something,
yeah.
that's okay. That's you.
Yeah, so fun fact, we had a gentleman who did some free videos for us just to get his name out there. So in the month of March, we did 2 videos a week. So that's 8 videos. I got my report back from Instagram. My interactions went down 52% in the month after the videos. So the month with the videos was
No
really
way.
strong. The next month, I just got it this morning, believe it or not, and it was down 52% because I did no videos in April.
Yeah.
Like
It makes a
that's the
difference.
power.
Right. And you know that you're trying to attract certain people. However, the more people you attract, the more likely you are to actually get in touch or have those people interact with you, who are the people you're looking for. So it's okay. Just get yourself out there. I mean, it's definitely a comfort zone thing. I've gotten better with video over the years. Um, but it's practice, and just do it. People
Yeah.
want to know you. They want to work with you.
Yep.
So
Absolutely. Well, luckily Zoom is helping a little bit with that, right? Because
yes,
we're getting a little bit more comfortable every day with this Zoom
yes.
thing. So I think I want to shift now to the questions. We've got a couple of questions in the
Okay,
chat. Davies is going to help us with that. She's going to
good.
read us some questions, and we'll see what we got here.
Okay,
So to jump back, when you were talking about when you give gifts to your clients, one of the
Mhm.
questions is what kind of gifts are you giving? I know you mentioned that you don't do those big holidays. So when you do focus on those
mhm.
small ones, what are the holidays and what are the gift ideas you do?
Yeah, so it's not the same every year. It might just be I'm sending a candle, local from a local candle company to a client or my clients for Easter or for 4th of July. You can send out a little candy. Like there's companies where you can order candy. I'm trying to think. I don't know the ones near you, but we have certain areas we could just order like a cute selection of candy and send it out before 4th of July. And they'll send it out for you. You just input the addresses and you send it out. Or it could be an individual gift that somebody who just, their child just graduated and you're sending, some sort of congratulations to the family, whether it's flowers or dinner out or whatever that is, wherever they are, because they may not be here. You know, just it's a little more personal, I think. You know, I don't do as much mass sending.
Good to
So,
know.
mhm.
Okay, so you really focus on like your VIP clients, is that what I'm hearing?
Absolutely. That's what I'm focused on. I'm focused with the clients who, you know me and love me and will talk about me and hopefully generate referrals for me through them.
I think that was a great aha for me because we hear about gift giving so much, and I think we focus on I got to get gifts to so many
No,
people,
no,
but
no,
in
no, no,
reality
no.
we should hyper focus on those
I
VIP
would.
clients
I
because they're
mean,
the
at
ones
this,
giving us
you know,
money.
yeah, depending upon where you are in your business, you can focus on 10. You know, if you have a bigger business, then you can do 100. Like you just do what you can scale, and maybe you're just doing your top 3. But make sure it's a quality touch and luxury. You don't want to just send you know, like a Yankee candle. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but like
Right.
Ritz-Carlton has candles. You want to select something that a luxury client is going to recognize and appreciate, which will be a higher end price point. Now,
Gotcha.
for your regular clients, and not everyone is a luxury client, right? Like everyone deserves
Yes.
luxury
You
treatment.
treat everybody like a luxury
You
client.
treat everyone like luxury, yet, you know, you can budget differently for different price points.
Awesome. Okay. Another question was, what about luxury that is not in a resort or a vacation area? I don't know if the question is more so, do you handle those kind of clients or what? I don't know if you
I'm
want
not
to hop
sure.
on, Karen.
Yeah, maybe whoever asked, maybe throw a little specifics in there and I can, because I'm not sure.
Well,
But I
good.
mean, what I do, you really can do anywhere you, in terms of either gifting or targeting agents. I mean, there's people moving all the time. So like a lot of Californians were moving to Texas. So if I were in Texas, I would want to focus on California as a source of business. So agents or homeowners, or so it can be anywhere. Um, I don't know
Awesome.
if that was what.
I'm not sure either, and she doesn't seem to unmute, so that's okay.
That's
Thank you.
okay.
Her other question was, how do you get in with this group if you're not already in a luxury lifestyle yourself, which you pretty much answered without
Yeah.
knowing it was a question. So,
Yeah. So, you know, you just need to pursue it. So, look, I don't belong to any country club, but I can still go have lunch there with a friend. Um, I'm not going to go necessarily spend, you know, $500 on a dinner at one of our top restaurants, but I could go sit at the bar for happy hour, and I don't drink, but I can have a nice glass of water and some appetizers.
yeah,
But
some
you
water
want
on the rocks.
water. I mean, it's very fancy. I'm a very, you know, very fancy drinker. But you know, you just want to be around it, because the more you're around it, you'll learn about it, and the more people you're going to meet who are going to connect you to that demographic.
That's a good nugget. I personally want to say thank you for sharing so much about your journey and not just the success when you got to the destination, right? Because
Oh,
so many people tell us the success when they got there, but not the struggles during the journey. So I do
oh,
appreciate all those nuggets you were giving us
yeah,
earlier.
yeah. And, you know, just finding out where you can go to make the connections. You know, in your area, it may not be restaurants and whatever that is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just know our area. So that's good to know.
Yeah.
Another
Mhm.
question is, how do you stay in touch with your out of town clients? Do you ask for their mailing address or just calls and emails?
All of the above. You know, I don't call everybody. They don't want to hear from me that much. But they want the touch. So I can text message them. Sometimes I'll do a video text message. Sometimes it's just an email. It's all different ways. I mean, I think about those clients as my friends and how I want my friends to talk to me. So most of my friends don't want to email. So I'm mostly calling and texting, mostly. But it doesn't mean that you don't send out your newsletter once a month, or just a quick video of you doing a market update, send it out. Just touching them makes a difference.
Right. So you
Awesome.
just said you do a newsletter. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So doing the newsletter, people love to see what's going on in the areas either that they own want to own, or dream about. You know, it's all of the above. So people want to see activities. So you can highlight whatever activities are in your area, quick little blurbs on, you know, wine and cheese festival or whatever it is. Then you also want to have some beautiful listings in there. They don't have to be your listings. They can be your office's listings. They can be someone else's listings. You have to check with your board and see how you have to communicate that with the other agent. But most agents love that you're going to advertise their listing. So you don't get a lot of pushback on that. But, you know, I might not have a $5 million listing right now, but I'd love to post about it or share it on my newsletter. So you put that in your newsletter. I don't do recipes or things like that. That's not my gig. So it's mostly just events and maybe like announcements at the ski resorts.
Jennifer, are you writing this yourself?
I put it together and someone else does the magic.
I hear you. And this is digital, right? You're just doing a digital one.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
cool.
Yep.
Hey, Sandra,
So,
with your permission, can I share my screen really quick and show everybody that little nugget you guys shared about the referrals? Because I had a
Sure.
lot of people asking, and I think it's
oh
easier
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
see it.
Yeah,
Good.
sure.
All right, give me 1 second. Share screen. Excuse all the tabs up there. That's how my mind works.
Looks like
All
my
right.
computer.
So when you are in command, which is agent.kw.com, on the left here, you're going to hit referrals.
Mhm.
When you go to referrals, you're going to hit map. Then in map, very important detail is going to be what I'm about to show you whenever it loads. Hold that
It takes a
thought.
while.
No big deal.
It does take a
a
while.
tech company.
Even
It's
on your
Wi-Fi's fault.
computer.
I blame the Wi-Fi.
That's okay. But yeah, so while this is going, I mean, looking at these maps and how they work is going to benefit all of us. It also helps us understand what's going on in other people's markets when we start reaching out to these people.
Definitely. So a couple of things about this section is when you see search map to the right, you have this drop down. So you can search by production, by market center, by your network, or referral patterns. So when you hit on referral patterns, so I'm located in South Florida. So whenever it allows me to touch this, there we go. You'll see it's going to, on the side here, it gives me some data.
Like a spider, it's creeping out there.
Yes.
Mhm.
So you see all of the little legs going.
Yep.
So I'm the green out of Pembroke Pines, and then you're going to start seeing all of the little lines. So hopefully that helped. Again, one more time, agent.kw.com, referrals, map, referral patterns. Okay, very important. All right, thank you guys.
Thanks, Davies. That was really helpful.
Any other questions that you are seeing out there? I haven't read, obviously, the chat because I've been too busy jabbering.
The last question was about how are you keeping in touch with your clients? And then
Okay.
it was it being recorded, which yes, everybody it is being recorded.
Okay.
So Jennifer, what would be your biggest challenges right now? What are you seeing as your biggest challenge in real estate overall?
It's sharing knowledge with my clients because right now I'm battling against the media, which every day, I'm sure we all know it, you know, oh, interest rates, woe is me, woe the economy, whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, it's true. You know, we all have issues going on around us personally and, you know, in the country, yet we have to bring our clients back to reality. So the reality is, and I'm sure for you, yes, we have more inventory maybe than we did during the pandemic or during the last couple of years, but we're still not up to where we need to be.
Right.
So the demand is still high. So know your market if this is true or not. We're still seeing multiple offer situations, but people who are not here want to buy here, they're like, oh, well, we'll go in at this. And I'm like, just so you know, if you don't go in at full price, you're probably not going to get it. Like it's still not the time to lowball somebody. So you have to know your market and your market conditions, obviously. And I think sharing the actuality and the reality versus what you see on, CNN or Fox News or whatever, the headlines are. That's my biggest battle.
Jennifer, we experienced that too. And I think to go with that, we have a challenge, especially if people coming in from other areas and we say, we try to explain to them that they need to go higher, them not believing us and actually feeling like we're pushing them when we're really trying to educate them.
Yeah.
And that's definitely one of our challenges right now is people, they don't understand the market. And when you try to explain it to them, they feel like you're just trying to sell them something.
Well, that's a really good point because you can't explain it. You have to show it. So go into your market stats, show them the last month of sales or however long you like to look, but so that they can actually see for themselves. You're not explaining anything to them. The numbers are. And even if you're not a numbers person, you can follow a graph on a chart. You can see, everything's been selling at 100%, right? Sales price to list price. You can do all those things. So just make sure you know your market, and you may even, be able to drill down by area. Developments, subdivisions, whatever that is.
Right. Yeah, especially if you're in an area where things are very different from spot to spot, you can drill down to that. Like for us, we have very large gated communities where we can look just there, or we need to go maybe to a city for another area. Yeah. Okay. So how about inspections? Any issues with inspections in your area?
So we are able to actually submit an inspection objection now, which is good. So there is some negotiating on inspection items. But once again, since we are still in a multiple offer situation, you need to know the property, you need to know the area, and you need to be able to advise your client and say, hey, look, we can ask for items. We might get a little credit. We might not. Just be prepared that might be part of our journey in this transaction.
So preparing them for the fact that they may get nothing, that helps soften the blow.
I mean, a year ago, we knew they got nothing, right? Like 2 years ago, they didn't get anything. That was out. You didn't even have the inspection in there half the time, which just crushed me because it's so not okay. But we can put it in there now, but just know that you still may not have a lot to negotiate with.
Right. How about insurance? Any challenges with insurance out there?
Insurance challenges, not so much. We don't really have, you have to have so we're so local. So you really want to be able to have your vendors who serve here, who's, do the insurance here. They're not going to call their person at home because they're not going to be familiar with what's going on here and be able to be comfortable insuring here. We have other things like fire danger. We don't have hurricanes. So, there's different levels for that. But yeah, you just have to have someone who's knowledgeable. I think that goes anywhere.
Right. So you need to be the person who can provide that information to them and be that source of connection.
Very much so. Very much so. And in this area, we're also very specific with our lenders.
Okay.
It's a vacation area and we have a lot of short-term rentals and unique things here.
Different rules for different buildings, different condos, things like that.
All of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So again,
you have that too, to a certain extent. You have a lot of condo associations.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we definitely have that same challenge here. So it's definitely knowing which lender to go to for which thing and knowing going in so we can tell our client, no, you're not going to be able to buy there for 10% down. Like that's just not happening. Right. We have to be able to explain to them so that when they come here, they're not disappointed that they, flew across the country to get nothing.
Correct. And I think when you're talking about a luxury segment, the good news is a lot of people who are in the luxury, your clients, they understand finances, right? So they may not even be worried about the finances part, meaning they're not going to get a loan, or they're putting $1 million down or whatever that is. And so the money part sometimes with your luxury clients, I don't know about you, but like it's less of a concern.
Mhm.
Big, one big inspection that we had, it was like $80,000, right, to resolve this inspection. And the sellers were like, okay, great, no problem.
Right.
It just wasn't an issue.
Mhm.
So know your clients in that way, because you don't need to talk them into an objection. It may not be for them.
Right. Right. And so I love that, because I know even non-luxury, we have agents that like they want to fight for something, even though the client doesn't want to fight. And that you may actually be doing your client a disservice because you're making the transaction more difficult.
Oh,
Your
yeah.
client may feel super uncomfortable that you did that. So we don't always need to be the hero. We need to do what our client wants us to do and be respectful of their wishes, right? Because that
Absolutely.
could be the win.
My clients are my boss, right? Like for whatever that transaction time is, I'm working for them, right? And people in the luxury sphere, they're used to having people work for them. Understand that that's what they're going to be treating you like. You're an employee. You're getting this job done for them. And that's okay. You're there to service. That's what we do. We bring service. We bring a great experience. We want to make everyone feel special, right? So just know those things going into it.
Right. So sometimes the best job is they may not get as much money out of your transaction, but if they get the peace of mind and the smooth transaction, that may be worth more to them than another $10,000 or $20,000.
Yeah, they don't want to fuss over 20 grand. That's a lot of money to a lot of us, right? Like 20 grand,
Right.
but for them.
Right. And especially when you're like, you're doing properties that are upwards of what, 5-10 million?
I haven't done 10, but yeah. Yeah. So there's
I'd like to do 10.
Yeah, I'm going to this year. But yeah, so you just have to know. It's just a different way to think about money.
I like that. And how about connecting people like within your sphere, not just inspections and lenders, but what other people are you a big connector for your clients?
A lot of people will reach out to me for little things, like if they have families, who's a babysitter, what restaurants, but they figure out those restaurants really quickly because we don't have a ton of restaurants in the mountains. So they pretty much have that down pat. But whatever it is that they need to, their cleaning lady couldn't make it or their cleaning service couldn't make it. Can I help them get someone in there? You just want to always have access to the things that your clients might need, like that, like a handyman. Something happened, they're sick and I think that goes with all of your clients, right? Like you want to be that resource for them. And I don't think it's any different with luxury.
Right. Yeah. Always want to be the resource, the concierge service.
That's right.
Absolutely. All right. I don't think we have any more questions in the chat. What is the one thing that you always want to share with people? Like, what would be the one thing you would recommend to anybody trying to get into the luxury market? And, what's your big passion that you would share with people?
I think I've kind of stated it. I love connecting with agents and learning and putting myself in a position where I'm going to find the business and I'm going to have the business because of who I surround myself with. I'm not going to surround myself, with agents I'm not talking about like new agents who are just starting. I'll reach out and I'll bring you in and I'll give you everything I can. But if someone's been in the business for a long time, but they're not doing the kind of business I want, it's not that I won't be friends with them. Of course I'll be friends, but it's not who I'm going to like spend my dinners with or spend my masterminding with or spend the time seeking them out at meetings. Right. So, it's okay to have those ideas in your head so that you're heading in the right direction.
Yep. I love that. Just like if you want to sell luxury, you're not going to send just sold cards to a mobile home community, right? So you're focusing on.
Don't do that.
Right. What you focus on grows, right?
Yes, exactly. What you focus on expands, just like they say in bold, and it's true. It is true.
Awesome. All right. Any last questions, or Jennifer, you can share your contact information. And I'm not
Sure.
sure that I actually said all the areas you cover. So maybe
Oh,
just
yeah.
share
So
that.
I actually live in the town of Frisco, Colorado. It's very centrally located in the mountains. So it's 30 minutes to Vail. It's 15, 20 minutes to Breck, depending on traffic. Beaver Creek, Keystone, Copper Mountain. We're close to A Basin and Loveland, but those aren't areas where people live. And then Dillon and Silverthorne, which are ski area towns. And I can send a few others that are kind of mixed in there that you may not be familiar with.
Awesome.
And if you want to reach me, I'll just say it, and then we can put it in the chat too. My phone number is 303-880-4322. Texting me is a great way to get the conversation going, just because my phone rings a lot. And if you want to reach me via email, it's jluxhomes@gmail.com. And if you ever want to hook up at a meeting, just give me a call, send me a text. I love connecting.
Awesome. Davies put your email address in the chat so everybody can get a copy of that. And I plan to see you next week in Texas. That'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, Jennifer, thank you so much. I really appreciate you joining us today, and everybody else who dialed in for this. I appreciate your time and you taking the effort to be here. And I hope this was helpful to you guys. And I'll see you next week, Jen.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Hey, there was Lori.
Yeah, I wanted to give a quick. I would love to give a quick kudos. Hey, Jennifer.
Hi, Lori. How are you?
How are you?
Good to see you.
You too. I just wanted to say thank you for being so open and transparent about all the information you share. Jennifer took care of. I have a VIP here where I live in Dallas, and their mother had a little bitty mountain house in, where was it? Fairplay, Colorado.
Lady.
Yeah, but you were so patient with her and treated her as if she was a $5 million property. And to this day, we talk about connecting her with the right person up there. And I just want to say thank you, because you do treat everybody good as gold. And anybody heading up there, I just wanted to give you a big kudos, because to me, it helped solidify even further my relationship with my client here.
Yeah. Right.
Mother was there, and it just deepens the relationships when you have people like you.
And we also met at Keller Williams events.
Yes, absolutely. I'll be in Austin next week too.
Awesome.
So. Awesome. All right, well, Lori, I hope I see you too.
Sandra, hey, thank you so much for doing this. We'll see you next week.
Welcome. All right. Thank you, ladies. Have a great one.
Bye-bye.
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 Bye.